cinephiles and action movie enthusiasts. Welcome to A-Flix, and today we're diving headfirst into a hail of bullets with the top 10 most explosive gunfights films. We're talking about movies that redefined action with their thrilling, heart-pounding shootouts. From meticulously choreographed ballets of gunfire to chaotic bullet fests, we're counting down the films that have left us breathless and begging for more. So, grab your popcorn and get ready for an action-packed ride as we explore the films that have mastered the art of the gunfight.
It's just easy that way.
Extraction is an American action thriller film based on the graphic novel Shootouts. The film stars Chris Hemsworth as Tyler Rake, a fearless black market mercenary who is enlisted to rescue the kidnapped son of an imprisoned international crime lord. Rake embarks on the most deadly extraction of his career when he travels to Dhaka, Bangladesh to save Ovi Mahajan, the adolescent son of an imprisoned Mumbai gangster. Ovi has been kidnapped by his father's rival, Amir, putting Ovi's protector Saju in mortal danger. The mission goes awry when Rake is double-crossed. He forms an unlikely bond with Ovi as they fight to survive against Amir's henchmen. The film climaxes with an intense, well-staged gun battle on a bridge blocked by Amir's men. Extraction received mixed reviews but became the most-watched original film in Netflix's history, with over 99 million viewers during the first 4 weeks. A sequel titled Extraction 2 was released in 2023.
Sometimes.
I chose this life, and someday it's going to get me killed.
Atomic Blonde is a spy thriller set in Berlin in 1989, just before the fall of the Berlin Wall. British spy Lorraine Broughton is sent to Berlin to investigate the murder of a fellow agent and recover a list of double agents. The story is told through flashbacks during Lorraine's debriefing by MI6 agent Eric Gray and CIA agent Emmett Kurzfeld. Lorraine had a relationship with the murdered agent James Gascoigne, who was carrying the coveted list when he was killed by KGB agent Yuri Bakhtin. In Berlin, Lorraine teams up with Station Chief David Percival to find the list and uncover the identity of the double agent Satchel who betrayed Gascoigne. Lorraine also becomes involved with French spy Delphine Lassalle while trying to smuggle a Stasi defector named Spyglass, who has memorized the list of agents, out of East Berlin. The film features stylized action sequences and a 1980s soundtrack. Charlize Theron's intense performance as the tough, no-nonsense spy Lorraine was widely praised. The complex plot involves betrayals, double crosses, and a race to recover the list before it falls into the wrong hands.
Oh my God, I think I love you.
That's too bad.
I'm up.
John Wick is a retired hitman whose beloved wife Helen recently passed away. As a final gift, Helen arranged for John to receive a puppy named Daisy to help him cope with her death. However, Daisy is killed and Wick's prized 1969 Mustang is stolen by the arrogant son of a Russian mob boss, Yosef Tarasov. This sets off a violent chain of events as Wick comes out of retirement to seek revenge against the Tarasov crime family. Wick methodically tracks down and kills Yosef's associates, drawing the attention of his father Vigo, the head of the Russian mob. Vigo tries to have Wick killed, but Wick proves to be a formidable and unstoppable opponent, taking out waves of Vigo's men. In the climactic showdown, Wick confronts and kills Vigo, avenging his dog and car. Though wounded, Wick rescues another puppy from an animal shelter before walking away, hinting at a new beginning.
You know how they say, someday a girl's gonna come along and change your world forever?
Wanted is an action thriller film, loosely based on the comic book miniseries by Mark Millar and J.G. Jones. The film follows Wesley Gibson, a meek office worker who discovers that his recently murdered father was a professional assassin. Wesley is recruited into a secret society of assassins called the Fraternity, led by Sloan, and trained by the skilled assassin Fox to take on the rogue assassin Cross, who killed Wesley's father. Through his training, Wesley learns to harness his latent superhuman abilities, such as the ability to curve bullets and slow down his perception of time. He goes on several successful missions for the Fraternity, but later discovers that the loom of fate, which the fraternity uses to identify their targets, has marked him for assassination. Wesley must then confront Cross, who reveals himself to be Wesley's real father, and escape from the fraternity. The film was praised for its fast-paced narrative, stylized action sequences, and McAvoy and Jolie's performances. It was a commercial success, grossing over $342 million worldwide against a $75 million budget. A sequel was announced but ultimately never materialized.
Cleric is the final line of defense. If the resistance compromises it, we are doomed.
Equilibrium is a science fiction film set in a dystopian future where emotions have been outlawed. The story follows John Preston, a high-ranking law enforcement officer known as a Grammaton cleric, who is tasked with hunting down and executing sense offenders, those who refuse to take the emotion-suppressing drug Prozium. After accidentally missing a dose of Prozium, Preston begins to experience emotions again and starts to question the totalitarian regime he has been enforcing. He secretly allies with the underground resistance movement, which seeks to overthrow the government and restore freedom of expression. As Preston navigates his newfound emotional awareness, he is forced to confront his past actions, including the execution of his own wife for being a sense offender. The film explores themes of totalitarianism, censorship, and the importance of human emotion and artistic expression.
Christian Bale, Tay Diggs. Equilibrium.
It's freezing. Why are we walking? We jacked the car keys. Oh, that's my car!
Kingsman: The Secret Service is a spy action comedy film that follows the recruitment and training of Gary Eggsy Onwin into the Kingsman, a secret intelligence agency. The film opens with a Kingsman agent sacrificing himself to save his team during a raid. Feeling guilty, Agent Harry Hart delivers a medal to the agent's widow and young son Eggsy, telling them to call if they ever need help. Years later, Eggsy is a troubled youth when he calls the number on the medal. Hart recruits Eggsy to join the Kingsman, which has an opening for a new agent after the death of Lancelot. Eggsy competes against other candidates in a rigorous training program overseen by Merlin. Meanwhile, the Kingsmen investigate the disappearance of a scientist named James Arnold, which is connected to the wealthy and philanthropic Richmond Valentine, who is plotting a global threat. As Eggsy progresses through the training, he develops a close friendship with fellow candidate Roxy. In the final test, Eggsy is asked to shoot his dog, but he refuses, leading to his dismissal. Roxy becomes the new Lancelot instead. Harry continues investigating Valentine and discovers his plan to cull the world's population using a network of SIM cards that emit a frequency to induce aggression. In the climactic battle, Eggsy rejoins the Kingsmen to help stop Valentine's plan and prove himself worthy of becoming an agent.
And what about them? What makes them so special? Put it back.
Violence is one of the most fun things to watch.
That part of it, you got right.
Shoot 'Em Up is an action film follows Mr. Smith, an ex-gun store owner, who finds himself protecting a newborn baby from a group of assassins led by the villainous Mr. Hertz. The film opens with Mr. Smith witnessing a pregnant woman being chased by gunmen. He intervenes, delivering the woman's baby in the midst of a shootout and then finding himself on the run with the newborn. It's revealed that the baby, named Oliver, is the target of a conspiracy involving a corrupt U.S. senator and a firearms manufacturer who need the baby's bone marrow for a nefarious plot. Mr. Smith teams up with a prostitute named DQ to protect the baby from the relentless onslaught of assassins sent by Mr. Hertz. The film features over-the-top, cartoonish action sequences, with Mr. Smith uses unconventional weapons like carrots to dispatch his enemies. Shoot 'Em Up has developed a cult following for its unapologetically excessive and absurdist take on the action genre.
Oh, yes, sirree, Bob. It certainly has been a pleasure.
This is pretty fucked up.
You want to be making moves on the street, have no attachments, allow nothing to be in your life that you cannot walk out on in 30 seconds flat if you spot the heat around the corner.
Neil McCauley leads a skilled crew of professional bank robbers in Los Angeles. After their latest heist goes wrong and results in homicide, LAPD detective Vincent Hanna becomes obsessed with tracking down McCauley's crew. Hanna and McCauley, while on opposite sides of the law, develop a mutual respect for each other's abilities and personal struggles. As Hannah closes in, Macaulay plans one last big score, but his newfound relationship with a woman threatens to derail his meticulous plans. The film culminates in a dramatic shootout between Macaulay's crew and Hannah's team, with tragic consequences for both sides. Despite being adversaries, Hannah and Macaulay share a profound understanding of each other's motivations and the demands of their respective professions.
And film.
This guy comes to town every Tuesday. Are you free Tuesday?
Yeah, I'm free Tuesday.
Léon the Professional is a French action thriller film centers on Léon, a professional hitman, who reluctantly takes in 12-year-old Matilda after her family is murdered by corrupt DEA agent Norman Stansfield. Léon and Matilda form an unusual relationship as she becomes his protege and learns the hitman's trade in order to seek revenge for her family's deaths. The film explores the complex dynamic between the two as Léon teaches Matilda his skills, while she in turn teaches him how to live and experience life. The film was a commercial success, selling over 18 million tickets worldwide. It is considered a cult classic and has been praised for the performances, particularly Natalie Portman's film debut, as well as the unique relationship between Léon and Matilda.
They called him a loner.
I know who you are.
Really?
You kill drug dealers.
Desperado is a neo-Western action film directed by Robert Rodriguez. It is the second installment in Rodriguez's Mexico trilogy, following the low-budget film El Mariachi. The film follows El Mariachi, a former musician turned gunslinger, as he arrives in a small Mexican border town seeking revenge on the drug lord Bucho, who killed his lover. El Mariachi is a cocky and skilled marksman who carries an arsenal in his guitar case. Upon arriving in town, El Mariachi crosses paths with Carolina, the owner of a local bookstore who is secretly working with Bucho. Despite this, the two become romantically involved as El Mariachi continues his quest for vengeance against Bucho and his gang of henchmen. The film features several intense action sequences, including a shootout in a library and a climactic confrontation at Bucho's mansion. It is revealed that Bucho and El Mariachi are actually brothers, which complicates the revenge plot. Desperado was praised for its stylized action sequences and Rodriguez's visual flair, though some critics felt the story was thin and existed mainly as a framework for the action. The film helped launch Salma Hayek to stardom and featured cameos from Quentin Tarantino and Cheech Marin.
Desperado, the new film from Robert Rodriguez.
Alright folks, that's our top 10. What did you think? Did your favorite explosive gunfight film make the list? Let me know in the comments below. While you're there, be sure to like and subscribe for more awesome action movie content. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to share it with your fellow action movie fans. I'll see you next time for another action-packed adventure. Until then, keep it explosive!